Seat, you have to get that to light green. Let's see how far down it has to go. That is hot. There it is. Oh, so it's green. That's how much room you have. Now you have to hop up into this thing. I can barely get my gut under it. I don't think it's going to work. This is where it's at on me. There you go. And yep, it did not turn green. Aquaman fails the fat test. We're going to fat test the Hall of Justice here at Centennial Park at Six Flags Over Texas. Oh yeah.
Argus. The RTVs are self-guided hovercrafts, so you can focus on blasting the bad guys without worrying about where you're going. We will handle all of the navigation from the Hall of Justice.
Oh, please work.
Copy that, Superman. Where are you?
I'm in front of the gate. Luther's been building Lex.
Sorry? Yeah, can I just film the seat?
I've seen some suspicious activity.
There we go.
Can't get close to the kryptonite power force. Lex is also blocked by X-ray vision around the walls of the facility.
Yep. Let's go. So the ride is actually called Justice League Battle for Metropolis. It's an interactive ride that utilizes lasers, computer graphics, film elements, etc. The vehicles will have a 360 turn radius, so you will be moving all over the place, and you're trying to protect the city from the Joker.
Booyah! How about we celebrate with some laughing gas?
It wasn't me. Don't allow you to film on the ride, obviously, but I did fit. It passes the fat test, and it was a fun ride. But I will say, there's a lot of like slow moments where there's not music or anything. It's just kind of the scene ends. I think that's something they could really fix with that. For the seat, it only had to come down as far as it could, and it's just kind of a moving chair like this. If you've ridden Men in Black or Spider-Man at Universal Studios, it's very similar to that. Let's note on that, it's really hard to tell what the targets are. I didn't know exactly what I was supposed to be shooting, and it's all screens. There's some really cool animatronics. I don't think you shoot at them, but there is a really cool Joker animatronic in there. And even if you just don't want to ride the ride, the cyborg is really cool. We're fat testing Pandemonium here at Six Flags Over Texas. Pandemonium is a spinning roller coaster with 4 people in each seat, and it does change based on your turns, weights, etc. So each ride will be a little bit different. It's considered a moderate speed level, and you must be 42 inches to ride with an adult or 47 inches to ride alone. Pandemonium was introduced in 2008, has an elevation of 53 feet, a top speed of 31 miles per hour, and a length of about 1,351 feet of track. It takes about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to ride the entire thing. The vehicle does spin 360 degrees, and you'll go around S-shaped curves, hard banks, and snake through twisted helixes. The official sponsor of this is actually Twix. So, of course, fat people can fit on it, right? We love candy. Let's check out this fat test. Our stairs here. Here we go. All right, I fit in the seats. Let's see. So I thought I made it, but they said they needed 4 or 5 more inches. So that one is going off on its own. Pandemonium fails the fat test. Pandemonium is tricky because it actually locks in place. It doesn't have to go that far down. But for them to let you go, it has to go down past a certain point on the seat. And I was about 4 to 5 inches from that. And it's hard to tell with that. The pew pew slinger, because social media is weird and you can't say certain words. The fat testing the pew pew slinger here at Six Flags Over Texas. This is the swing ride here. See why it's called that. This ride was actually introduced in 1983. It goes about 10 miles per hour and lasts about 1 minute and 40 seconds. You do have a minimum height requirement of 42 inches. All right, here's the seat. This one is different. It has this right here. Buckles from the bottom.
Please watch your step as you board the ride, and once seated, please buckle your safety belt. For your safety, please do not kick or grab other seats during the ride. Such behavior can seated. Hold on tight and enjoy the view.
Antes de abordar, por favor, seguro de todos los elementos sueltos y asegurarse de que cumplen todos nuestros.
In the seat fine, but the straps around here to go around your chest did not work. So unfortunately, the Pew Pew Slinger fails the fat test. Testing the mini mine train, wilder than a half acre of snakes, here at Six Flags Over Texas. The mini mine train is a mild family style roller coaster meant to model those larger wooden roller coasters or old school roller coasters. So it's going to be quite a bit rocky if you're able to get on it. This is perfect for a junior mine or somebody that's their first ride. You have to be 36 inches tall to ride with an adult or 42 inches to ride alone. The speeds only get up to 20 miles per hour and it only has a 20-foot elevation. It lasts a little over a minute and the length of the track is 810 feet. There may not be a lot of thrills for you, but your younger ones will probably enjoy this little ride. So it's pretty low to the ground either way. There's a seatbelt and a lap bar. Seatbelt and the bar went down. Not a ton of room, and you have to motion your legs to get under here. So far a fit. Let's see how it goes. The mini mine train is very, it's not a lot of drops. It's very mild, except it's very jerky. It's meant to stimulate those bigger mine train rides. So, but it does pass the fat test. Testing the Runaway mine train, wilder than an acre of snakes, here at Six Flags Over Texas. We are taking a journey back to 1966. Yes, this is the original roller coaster mine train here at Six Flags Park. This is actually considered to be the first tubular steel track coaster in the entire world. Now, the elevation only goes to 35 feet, but this lasts almost 5 minutes for the entire ride, and it has a top speed of 35 miles per hour. You'll experience some snaking S-turns. You'll zoom past some old prospector tents, covered bridges, and through dark rock crusher quarries, and then you'll end up at visiting the Ace Hotel and Saloon. Make sure to say hi to the old-timey barkeeper as the roller coaster passes through. Now, let's get on to the fat test to see if we can fit on it. The seats are divided, no seatbelt on this one.
Damn. They don't make these very big, do they?
No, that's what I do as I fat test rides, actually. Okay, so this does not come down. They have to release it. My legs do fit under here. Nope. That's okay, man. And that's why I test it. So these all go down at once. That's interesting. So these only go down as far as the largest person in the vehicle because it's all connected to one lever. There it goes without me. The Runaway mine train will run away without me. It fails the fat test. Testing Judge Roy Scream here at Six Flags Over Texas. We actually go under the road here. Introduced in 1980, Judge Roy Scream has a top speed of 45 miles an hour, an elevation of 65 feet, and a length of 2,480 feet, lasting just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, I hope you don't mind because I'm going to nerd out a little bit as we watch this point of view footage. Because Judge Roy Scream was actually named after an actual justice of the peace, Judge Roy Bean of Valverde, Texas. Now, he was a cantankerous old coot and got quite a name for himself, doing things like when a train passenger paid $20 gold piece for a beer, which was only 5 cents, he refused to give him any change. And when the passenger protested, he fined him $19.95, which was the change he was due. While only district court judges are legally allowed to grant divorces, Bean did so anyway, making $10 per divorce. But he only charged $5 for weddings and ended all ceremonies with, "And God, may God have mercy on our souls." Now let's get to the fat test. So the seatbelt worked. Let's see if this will. Well, I'm sure you can find out. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to fit anyway, so. Oh. I'm good? Okay. Nice. I was not expecting to fit. All right, good. But I do have to put my phone away. We're back after the ride. So that is mainly a bunch of hills. It was fun, but it was very, very rough ride. It's like that end of Slinky Dog, but very rough. Like, it's an old wooden roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like, whoo, I am shaking. But it passed the fat test. Okay, one more Judge Roy Bean story. He also owned a saloon, and one day a jury of 6 men found a rival saloon owner guilty and charged him 2 packs of beer. But the judge said, no, you can't buy the beer from your own saloon, so he made him come over to his saloon to buy the beer to pay the fine. Not sure what happened to the beer after that. Testing the Riddler's Revenge here at Six Flags Over Texas. If you've seen my Six Flags Fiesta Texas walkthrough, you will know that this is the same type ride, though a little bit shorter, as the Joker at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. It is a swinging and rotating ride that goes 147 feet in the air, rotating counterclockwise. You have to be 52 inches to ride, and it gets up speeds up to 70 miles per hour. It's considered a maximum thrill ride, and here is some footage from Six Flags YouTube channel. Now let's get on to the fat test. Does not have a test seat out front. This is the same ride as the Joker in San Antonio, Six Flags Fiesta. But so I didn't fit on that one. Let's see how this one goes.
We're gonna have to shut down, guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right when I don't know if you guys could hear that, but just as I was getting on, someone did throw up. I did test the seat. Unfortunately, it did not pass the fat test, but I did fit in that one better than I fit in the Joker at the one at Fiesta. People keep talking about throwing up, and it's making me nauseous. Everything over here in this area is a spinning ride of some sort. Testing Catwoman Whip here at Six Flags Over Texas. Catwoman Whip is a spin and tilt ride taking you in a circular motion in a 68-foot circle. According to their website, this is the only ride of its type in America. It's a maximum thrill ride when you have to be 48 inches tall to ride. As I said, almost everything in this area is a spinning ride. But will it pass the fat test? Let's see. Here's the seat. Let's see if I can get in it.
4, 3, 2.
All right. I'll pull down on the lap bar. She said it multiple times. But I fit. Let's see if I fit. I don't know. It's not gonna work. It's right there. I'm too fat. Now I gotta wait on them to release it. I don't like these for that reason. Now I gotta wait. Catwoman Whip was a close one, but it did not pass the fat test. Testing the Joker here at Six Flags Over Texas. Joker here is the Batman at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. And there is a test seat. Let's check out the ride before we get to the fat test. This is a spinning roller coaster, and because weight differential, it can always be a little bit different based on the spin. It is 120 feet tall with 90-degree hills. There are 8 people per vehicle and a total of 5 vehicles running. And you need to be 48 inches tall to ride. By the way, the fact that this is the Joker at this park and the Batman at another park greatly amuses me because they are typically considered that one would not exist without the other. But let's get to the fat test. Here's the test seat. You just have to be able to buckle it. Oh, that is hot. So when you're sitting down, I recommend pulling this up as you're sitting down. An assistant for this one. Yep, how far?
It wouldn't fit. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Alrighty, well, I appreciate you anyway.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, the Joker fails the fat test. Testing the Batwing at Six Flags over Texas. This is a Dumbo-style ride, which I think this is great theming for one of these. I noticed that the entrances are a little bit hard to find here sometimes. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, buddy. This belt is a little bit tight, but I do fit, and the seat is so hot. Oh my gosh. I am burning. So it may have melted my snowballs, but it passed the fat test. Mr. Freeze at Six Flags Over Texas, the coolest coaster on the planet. Originally opened in 1998 and themed after the 1997 Batman and Robin movie with the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze. This high-speed ride with 0 to 70 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds has been over a few different remodels. In 2012, it became the Reverse Blast, which is the video you're seeing here because I couldn't find the other one. And in 2022, it reverted to the original forward-facing ride. You immediately shoot up into a top hat loop, hurtling up and down a 90-degree slope. Then you go up a 236-foot tower before hurtling backwards, going the same exact path again. Now, let's get to the fat test.
Robert, there's someone there placing your row. Please be aware that they are there for a reason and we will get shown the next train.
This has to go down there, and that's not going to work. It's okay. Weird loading situation, so I couldn't really film all of it. Unfortunately, so it goes down on the side, and yeah, I could not get it to buckle, and I did not pass the fat test. Testing Batman the Ride here at Six Flags over Texas. Batmobile here. Unfortunately, I don't see a test seat anywhere. Welcome back to Gotham City. On this Batman inverted roller coaster, you are going to start out going 10 stories high and immediately going into a 360 loop. Then you move into a fully inverted roll and a second loop waiting for you a few seconds later. This double set of corkscrews is going to create about 4 G's of force on you. There are a total of 5 inversions on this ride. It gets up to 50 miles per hour and an elevation of 109 feet. A bigger seat here. It's the one with the 2. Yeah, so doesn't look like that's going to work either, guys. Actually, that feels further up than the other one. Unfortunately, the Batman is not penguin size friendly. The Batman fails the fat test. If you're riding on it, make sure to ask. There is an extra plus size row or seat available, so make sure to check and ask for that. It didn't help me, but maybe it'll help you. I'm ready to get out of Gotham. It has been here for way too long, and I am miserable hot. I want to get to another section of the park. Also, I really wish some of Mr. Freeze and Batman had, and the Riddler and Catwoman all need test seats. So, just something to think about, Six Flags. Seeing the Texas Skyscreamer here at Six Flags Over Texas. Debuting in 2013, this was the highest swing ride in the entire world at 402 feet high. The ride goes in a 124-foot circle at about 35 miles an hour. Now, just the month before I was here, it actually got stuck up there, and the riders were trapped in 100-degree weather for a little bit. If I'm going to get stuck, I hope it's in an air-conditioned space and near the ground. Let's get on to the fat test.
bags, backpacks,
There it is. There's a belt
no recording, nothing in your hands.
across and this here.
Texas.
Fortunately, I cannot get that going. There's the belt. I can't really see it either. But that's going to be a no. The Texas skyscreamer does not pass the fat test. France now staring down a pirate and a gazebo. You know, we made it to Electro right on time at 4:30. Bench seats, so nobody will have a problem. But some of these steps are pretty high. Time to fat test Runaway Mountain. I was hoping this was a water ride. Here we go. Put your legs down now. All right, it stopped. We'll see if that has to come down lower. Where we're at now. I don't know if they have to push it down further or not. We'll see. Oh, we're good. All right. I'll see you guys after the ride, I guess. It was a lot of fun. So I did fit. It's completely indoors and completely black. If you've ever done like the Space Mountain Halloween overlay, where it's just pitch black, it's that, but it's a much faster roller coaster. It's actually not as jerky and much more comfortable than Space Mountain. So that's a win. Runaway Mountain passes the fat test. Did up in the Old West.
I can see that now. That brings sitting there eating all those apples.
You think that's so funny?
I do. I think it's hilarious.
Oh, you like jokes?
I love jokes.
How about a riddle? You're real giggly. I bet you like this riddle. What's another name for TNT?
Dynamite.
That's right. Here's your prize.
Oh.
Leon, what are you doing? No, put it in the right spot. Dang it! I knew I shouldn't have bought that off Temu.
Must have been a dud.
The fat test, La Fiesta de las Tazas, which I believe means the party of the cups. Anyway, it's a teacup ride here at Six Flags over Texas. These teacups are made to look like 12 oversized Mexican pottery cups. It's located in the Spain area of the park, and you have to be 42 inches tall to ride. And the ride lasts about 1 minute and 30 seconds. These are actually really pretty cups. All right, this will be my cup. And I fit. No belts, anything. We are good to go. The other teacups at Disney, these are just one big bench. Very thankful they're in the shade right now. A lot of room here. The ones at Disney, at least when I started doing this, my gut was like right here. I'm not sure if that's because I've lost weight or if that is because this is just bigger. Is a little small, but no real problems. Conquistador here at Six Flags over Texas. Conquistador is a flying Spanish ship. This ride opened in 1981 and lasts about 3 minutes long. You have to be 42 inches tall to ride. The ship does arc 180 degrees. Conquistador. If you go up to the tallest one on these, you tend to get the most bang for your buck. It comes down as far as it comes down, it seems like. Looks like we're good to go. It looks like. Let's ride. Testing El Diablo loop coaster. I kind of hope this one fails. The gargoyles out. El Diablo is a ride known as a gigaloop. You have to be 48 inches tall to ride, and it takes you in a 360-degree circle upside down, backwards and forwards. It holds 32 passengers at a time and is a height of 100 feet. At Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, this is known as the Fireball. For me, it's just known as the thing that scares the crap out of me. But will I fit? Let's get to the fat test. All right. So here it is. Let's see if I can get it. We are way off. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, that's definitely a no. Fat testing the log ride. Here's the boat. Just one long bench seat. The proper name for this ride is El Aserradero. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly, but I do know that it means the sawmill. This is a traditional log flume ride. This one opened back in 1963, so it has been around a very long time. And it's meant to be a mild ride for families to get a little wet and cool off just a little bit. You float around in the shade primarily, as you can see from the video, and then there's one large drop. The top speed is about 15 miles an hour. The entire thing takes about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and the highest elevation is about 30 feet. But let's get to the fat test. I know, I'm just filming the seat. I help big people travel, so I always test the seats. Kind of fell back into this. All right. Yep. Hoping to get wetter on that ride. Unfortunately, I barely did. My feet did, which felt good. But getting in and out of it's tough, but it's a fun ride. I love log rides. I've typically found water rides tend to be fairly fat friendly, and it passed the fat test. Felt like I was overdoing it, so I came over to first aid and want to rest here for a few minutes. I'm going to get as much done as I can, but never put anything ahead of your health. I told y'all I fat test everything. Right now I'm fat testing the first aid bed because I went to come in here for a few minutes just to relax and cool off, so I didn't overdo it, and then I realized my head was throbbing and I had already overdone it. So the first aid bed passes the fat test. Shout out to these guys in first aid. The EMTs and team members are just amazing. I actually saw some other team members here. The guy that runs the railroad had overdid it too. I'm sure running that engine is extremely hot. If you're at a theme park and think that you can get mad at a team member or staffer, guys, these guys are living in this heat nonstop just for a pretty measly paycheck, and you're on vacation. You're getting to ride rides and have fun. They're running the rides. So don't be a jerk. It tells me to keep going with this video. My brain is going to win out and tell me to go cool off and go back to the hotel. Guys, I'm sorry I didn't get to go through the whole thing. I promise I will do everything in my power to do a part 2. So please subscribe, follow, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're mad at me for missing. I'm so sorry. I will be back. And if you want to support these trips so I can do more and not have to be rushed, check out the Patreon. Links below. And if you can't do that, please watch this next video. That's all, folks.